In the eyes of the universe, in the eyes of the great law of karma, if you have sex with someone, you're married. There's a reason why all the religions set out these edicts around sexuality and saying that you can't have sex before you're married, because if you do, you're married. It's not by accident that every religion and every spiritual tradition and every tribe, every people, everywhere in the world have a ceremony for uniting man and woman in holy matrimony. They have some kind of rite or ritual that serves as a ceremonial reminder and initiation into the world of the married couple. This is such a important and pinnacle aspect of every single culture in the world. And that is because the act of sexual union is a marital union. It is an act of marriage. It is for a married couple to engage with one another and become one flesh. So all of this promiscuity, and nowadays, especially in the younger generations, because they've been brought up with the internet and everything else and social media, and many of them have no real concept of what a committed relationship is, let alone a marriage. And they've all been brought up in this postmodernist idea that marriage is this patriarchal structure that was imposed on humanity in order to try to control and manipulate and subdue and repress women. And nothing could be further from the truth. And a lot of those women now are in their late 30s or 40s. They're single, they're childless, and they're watching their biological clock tick down, and they're kicking themselves for having drunk the Kool-Aid on feminism, because now their life is empty, they're alone, they have no children, have a good career, but are certainly not living their bliss. They're discovering that I was meant to be a mother, I was meant to have a child, but they had all their priorities twisted and mixed up. Online dating has become essentially like one of these job sites. The most common expression in women's dating profiles online is no 666, no sex. If you're not at least 6 feet tall, aren't making at least six figures, and aren't packing at least 6 inches down there, no mas. Does that sound like love to you? Or it's just lonely people who want companionship and don't want to be alone and don't want to keep paying for their mortgage by themselves, and women want to be taken care of. Even these older women, they want a strong, powerful, potent alpha male to ravish them in bed and to take care of their lifestyle needs. Does any of that sound like love to you? Or they just feel that they're entitled, or they've had so many bad relationships because they don't know how to love. Many people don't know how to love. Love doesn't expect, demand anything. When you love someone, you give, you serve, you support, you raise up, you illuminate, you elevate, and on the more childlike level, you play, you enjoy, you laugh, you share joy, you share a harmonious, playful, joyous experience of bliss, where your marriage, your union, is an aspect of your bliss. It's an aspect of the life that you came here to live in, and the mission and the work that you came here to do. And your partner sees that, knows that, respects that they are a part of your bliss. Especially the woman has to be on board with the man's life's work, because there's an old cliche: behind every great man was a great woman. And it's true. It's almost impossible for a great man to achieve great things without having the love of his life in his life, supporting him, helping him, and encouraging him, but also standing in his way when needed, when he's about to do something stupid, or when he needs the extra resistance to be able to get to the next level. We need that. We need the severity and mercy of the nurturing element in our life, that supportive, nurturing, caregiving, life-giving, but also life-taking element in our life. Because we have to die as the person that we were to become the person that we are meant to be. And this is what happens within what Master Samael would call a perfect matrimony, a marriage of equals who equally wish to help the other advance level by level by level by level by level, and know that that can only happen on the alm of life, can only happen by suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. It can only happen by giving of themselves fully to one another and to the enterprise of their marriage, the enterprise of their life together, which includes whatever life's work, whatever bliss each individual is here to fulfill, is here to realize, self-realize. This is why we are still single. We've had many false starts, and we've had many tests and many traps, and those tests and traps were there for us as learning opportunities to know that we are no longer willing to compromise on love. Just as we are not willing to compromise on our bliss, we are not willing to compromise on this humanity and the love that we have for humanity and the passion that we have for our work, the passion that we have for all of you. It's not about finding the perfect person. It's simply about finding true love and finding someone to share that true love with. I'm very far from being perfect, and I know my partner, whoever they may be, is going to be very far from being perfect. But what matters, and this is a cliche, that we be perfect for each other. And what matters is that we both recognize and appreciate the importance of seeking the perfection of the being, the perfection of the higher self. Whether or not we realize it is another matter, but to strive for it and to work towards it and to work together to make that happen for one another. A marriage is all about the fruits of our labor to become one. And that includes whatever it is that we build together or create together. For example, a household, a home. Many people, when they start dating each other and it starts getting serious, one will move in with the other. This is a mistake. This is not a good idea for one partner to move in to another, because that is not a shared, created household. You're just a visitor. It's better to remain living on your own, and if you are truly committed to being together, then you make that commitment and get a new place, the two of you, but then it's going to be your place, plural, and you can begin creating a home. As you create a life together, you create a home together. And if there's going to be children, that home is going to be the space of love in which that family is going to grow and evolve, because a home is an expression of love, a home that you create together. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be big, but it has to be together, because two entities coming together as one creates a third. The fruits of that union is something new. The devotion to the divine feminine, by the way, is born of the phenomenon that we were talking about, how behind every great man is a great woman. And what we said earlier, the masculine cannot do anything without the feminine. Men who are completely devoted to their wives are so because their wives are on board with their bliss. Their wives recognize how important it is to the very soul of their husband that they accomplish XYZ. And it's like two mountain climbers roping up together to get to the summit. It's the job of each climber to be there in case should the other one slip and fall, to catch them or to help them up. It's teamwork, and we help each other. And this is some advice that just we can give to the women watching. If you want to be loved by a man as you've never been loved before by any other man in your life, devote yourself in your relationship, in your marriage to that man. Make his bliss your bliss, an aspect of your bliss, that you are going to encourage him, support him, or challenge him, do whatever it, and everything that you can to see your man be everything that he can be. If you do that, you will be loved in a way that no other man has ever loved you. If, of course, the man is not a narcissist and full of himself and thinks that he did it all on his own and didn't notice you and took you for granted, because such men do exist. But we're giving you the benefit of the doubt that you will not involve yourself with such an individual, in part because you come and listen to these live streams. You know that you need to follow your bliss, and you need to be with someone following their bliss. And if there's an alignment mentally, emotionally, and physically, energetically, and there's an affinity on all of those levels, if you together as a team, if one of your dreams is to be with someone who is not compared with anybody else in the world or anybody else in history, but just compared to themselves. If your dream is to be with someone who is living every day the best expression of themselves, the best person that they can be, the best man that they can be, the best woman that they can be, the best father that they can be, the best mother that they can be, what more could you possibly ask for? And if these two individuals are striving to be the best that they can be, it's through this vehicle, this vessel of the third, of the union, of the family, of the marriage, of the household, or of the shared enterprise. If perhaps you don't have children, but perhaps you share a common thing, perhaps you end up working together on the same enterprise of some kind. There's a myriad possible ways in which this can unfold. And as for the man, your number one job is to love the woman by your side, because without her, you're nothing. And if she's truly there for you to help you be the best that you can be, if she is not the first and last person you thank at every award ceremony you attend where you're receiving some kind of an award, if your wife is not the first and last person you thank, you're an idiot. You're a useless, narcissistic schmo who doesn't deserve the award that he just got. Deserves to have it smashed over his head and his wife leave him. If you treat your woman like a goddess, she will aspire to live up to that treatment. And if you treat your husband like a king, he will rule the kingdom with benevolence, and he will love his people. And that's how we have always seen it. The man is the highest he can hope for in a marriage is king, but a woman is a goddess. That's the way we see things, rightly or wrongly, because we are here to be all that we can be. And the love that we are here to cultivate and express and create together is not an animal type of love. It's not a mortal kind of love. It's not infatuation. It's not platonic. It's none of these things. It is uncommon and it's rare, but it's necessary if someone wants to awaken and self-realize, because you can't truly follow your bliss and face and explore your abyss and face your demons and conquer them without the love of your divine mother and without practicing white tantra with your spouse. But to be able to do that consistently without any animosity, without any resentment, requires someone who's on the same page as you. And that's not easy to find. It's not easy to, and it requires tremendous amounts of patience.